Rain. All life depends on it. But this vital resource can also carry pollution. A lot of that pollution comes from cities, millions of miles of roads, countless square feet of roofs. Impervious surfaces just can't soak up rain like natural surfaces can. That stormwater becomes runoff, traveling and mixing with oil from cars, pesticides from yards, feces from pets, and other pollutants, all of which hitch a ride right into our water sources. So how can you combat runaway rain? Students from W.B. Saul Agricultural High School in Philadelphia are working with a landscape architect, environmental engineers from CH2M, and the Nature Conservancy to use green infrastructure to create a stormwater solution, bringing sustainability to their campus while learning about different career paths and gaining skills they can carry into the workforce.
Green infrastructure is a term that describes when you intentionally manage stormwater in an environment that mimics a more natural system. Essentially treating stormwater as a resource rather than a waste product.
One form of green infrastructure is a rain garden. Rain gardens filter and absorb stormwater to avoid pollution, flooding, and erosion. Students at Saul are building a rain garden and rainwater harvesting system to reduce stormwater runoff on their urban campus. By using green infrastructure, they're beautifying their school and making it more sustainable. The gardens also include deep-rooted plants that can absorb more water. And during dry spells, a well-placed cistern can feed the garden with water harvested from the last rainstorm.
This garden here is capturing all the stormwater from the roof of that building, which is about a little over 100 square feet. And so all that water, which is about 400 gallons during a 1-inch rainstorm, is going to be diverted into that garden and is going to infiltrate into the grounds. And it's going to provide irrigation for the plants that are in that garden, make them grow really strong and healthy. That is in turn going to provide habitat to pollinators and other insects and wildlife.
If just one rain garden can reduce runoff by hundreds of gallons, imagine the impact of using green infrastructure throughout an entire region. Large cities could prevent hundreds of millions of gallons of polluted stormwater from entering their rivers each year. To bring a rain garden to your community, here are the steps to follow.
What they can do to benefit the environment.
Put your project in motion with a plan. Assemble a team with fellow students, teachers, community partners, and experts. This is going to be a group effort. Together, identify and survey your site. Maybe it's next to the basketball court, a parking lot, or another impervious surface. Determine average rainfall and test the soil drainage to plan a garden large enough to capture the runoff and let it infiltrate the soil. Research any approvals or permits you'll need before you build. Next, design your garden. Measure the site to create your own map, or use existing ones. A satellite image or a map of your school's campus is a great place to start.
My favorite part would definitely be going outside, doing measurements outside, working with the tools. We're used to just sitting in the classroom, staying on computers, learning about the environment, and this is like a chance to do something for the environment.
Next, conduct a site inventory. Record notes about significant features like water sources and existing vegetation, so you know exactly what kind of space you're working with. Find out if there are any underground service lines or other utilities in the area that need to be avoided. Use your notes to create a base map for the rest of your planning. Now's the time to make a planting plan to make sure your garden will attract people and pollinators. When you figured that out, head back outside to outline your garden.
Drawing it on paper is one thing, but actually experiencing it in the real world is another thing.
Our students always enjoy the hands-on. They would much rather be out in the field with the actual tool than receiving the theory. They get to say, we did it. There's nothing better than saying, I built it.
And finally, it's time to plant. But a rain garden is never really done. Maintaining it is just as important as making it in the first place. As long as you're willing to get your hands dirty, you can find a way to make green infrastructure work for your school.
We all got to be little artists. architect, constructors. And then in the end, we got to see our creations come together and then come to life.
One rain garden may seem small, but a patchwork of rain gardens working together will greatly contribute to the sustainability of your city and beyond.